Hey everyone, and welcome to Forecasting Fridays. On this episode, um, oops, on this episode, we will be looking into some additional time series forecasting. Uh, and yeah, I plan on making this a weekly, weekly kind of thing, where at least in the summer while the days are long. So basically every week we'll do some more time series forecasting. Nothing really set in stone, on what to do, um, but today we're gonna be working a bit with the Informer model, seeing what it does, and trying to fix any real bugs and stuff. Earlier today, I actually pushed some changes to the Informer model, which are hopefully fixing a problem that it had that the Informer model had working with SHAP, which is basically, if you're not familiar, the data visualization thing. So kind of in summary, I want to look and see how that's working now, make sure that's working okay, and seeing actually if the Informer model works a bit better forecasting this elusive Virgin River forecasting problem, which so far no models really worked well on forecasting yet, I think, because it is almost an extreme event forecasting scenario. Um, so yeah, we'll look into that a bit right now. Um, so okay. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of a set branch this was working off of. So yeah, this is a notebook I created a while ago to forecast the flow using the Informer. So I'm just going to. Originally, this notebook was encountering a lot of errors. So, but right now, I'm just gonna rerun it and see things. Oh wait, I might need to reset the execution. Yeah, I think I need to reset execution because I changed the branch. But oh, also I just discovered a bit earlier. There was a bit of a problem with the way the flow forecast PYPI package was getting kind of updated. Uh, so that so that issue though is now resolved, I think. So basically, now you should, if you just do the pip install of the package, it should be the correct version. What's happening is I'd actually improperly versioned some of the flow forecast things before on PYPI, which had oops, that's display. Here's my display. So that's kind of the big problem with was with that. So now if you go to like the PYPI thing, just to show it, it should be the most recent package. I actually had to pull some of the earlier packages because PYPI thought they were good, but yeah, you'll see the new version was the one released basically 3 hours ago. So this is the most up-to-date version. And in general, yeah, why installing this is easier. If you really want like the extremely latest features, I always recommend installing from the master branch. In general, the master branch is fairly stable, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. That's essentially how I have the majority of my notebooks running to install from the master branch. So let's see here. So yeah, here just it's installing right now. So we are going to, for that to finish installing. Now it's going to want me to get my weights and biases key. So I'm just going to go grab my key really quickly. Oh, I also actually found some of this stuff was easier in Kaggle, because in Kaggle, because in Kaggle you can actually save the weights and biases key just as a permanent environment variable. So we'll now see the sweep is running. We'll see if this like throws any actual errors running now. So like normal, we can pull up the weights and biases report while this runs. This might take a second to run though, so while this runs, I'm going to go actually back over to GitHub and just discuss the issue from before. So the issue before, even though I got the merge working for the SHAP stuff, is that actually with the SHAP stuff, it was essentially, well, at least when I was playing around with it, it was giving all zeros and stuff. So yeah, as I said yesterday, I merged that branch. But today when I looked at SHAP, I don't actually have the weights and biases thing handy, but basically the plots were showing all zeros for all values. I'm not sure if that's just because essentially when the unit tests were running, it's because the model hadn't learned anything, or if it's an actual error. So sometimes, in data science and machine learning, it's harder to tell if something's an actual error because, as you know, models aren't deterministic. So, but we'll see pretty quickly if this is an actual bug, or if it's just because the model hadn't learned anything in the unit test, which was the reason all the values were 0. Because obviously this should have learned something, so when we see the SHAP things plotted, we should be able to see that. So loss is going down. That's about all that's happened so far. This might take a while to run actually. So another couple issues in the background I've still been working on is playing around with different losses. So one of the things, and it was something some other frameworks actually have that we don't have, is quantile loss. So the funny thing is quantile loss actually is in the loss functions, but it's not supported for use with models yet. So I have a open issue to get that supported. Actually, it shouldn't be too much too involved, so I did label it as a good first issue if anyone's interested in working on it. Because as I said, we already have the basic code for the quantile loss in the loss functions. It just needs to be added to the dictionary, and then probably a couple of tests ran for it, and like some of the models need to have documentation on how to output the dimension for each quantile, because obviously with a quantile loss you're gonna output for each quantile. Anyways, so that's one of the issues open. Another good first issue for people looking is probably this general issue with read the docs. There's a lot of doc strings in our saying that just need to be formatted right so they show up and read the docs. So that's a pretty easy thing to do if someone just wants to get a contribution and a PR. Anyways, we can go back and look at this now. So basically it's up to Epoch 5 training. So the other thing I was going to do today was try to test the convolutional transformer with the Gaussian loss. There had actually been an old bug a while back where I thought Gaussian loss wasn't working, but then I remember later I commented and I thought it was solved. But I don't think I ever fully wrote up. I never actually tested it in a real notebook and a parameter sweep. So I'm potentially going to do that now and see if there's good performance and see if that actually works. So yeah, I'll actually go for open a thing for that while that thing's still running. And I'll probably take the basic convolutional transformer thing. Uh, thing. I have so many notebooks now for different forecasting problems I've worked on. I honestly don't remember where each goes. But but I am trying to make a central list of the different ones. So this was the one I used for the convolutional transformer. And this one, okay, so yeah, so this is the basic one. I think what I'll do now is I'll make a copy of this notebook, and then we'll work on switching to using the Gaussian loss for the notebook. So I'll just do save a copy and drive. We can just call it Gauss loss version. Yeah, and we'll just intermittently, I'll just check back on this to see how it's running, because this might take a while. Oops. What was that? Okay, so Virgin River forecasting. So yeah, we'll go back down to the Gaussian loss, and then we're gonna basically the criterion is now going to be the Gaussian loss thing. So I'm just going to quickly remember what it essentially is. You can find this on Read the Docs too. I honestly just, since I'm more familiar with the code, I always just search my own code and just look at it. So I see, yeah, basically here, there's this thing in the actual model dictionary. There's an annoying bug buzzing around here. It's summer. Starts to get warm and the bugs come out. So anyways, yeah, so the Gaussian loss is going to be here. I don't think that requires any additional parameters. I don't think. We can just check. Oh yeah, does it require, oh wait, yeah, that's instantiated. That should be instantiated as it goes though. Okay, actually, yeah, I have a test. Sometimes if you haven't seen a problem before, it's likely it's been in a test, because almost all these are tested in one way or another. So this is the test for that. I think for the parameters though, you just have to specify. Like, it doesn't matter what values you specify for this, because they're going to get filled very soon automatically. Basically what happens with this loss function is that those values are going to be generated by the model and updated each time, and then the actual target, the model is going to check if the targets would be in that distribution. So it doesn't matter what you initially put in, but so criterion parameters, we're just gonna throw in the mu and sigma here. And we're just going to specify values of 0, 0, sigma 0. So we're gonna try, so those are the two big ones, so we're gonna try how to use those. And then similarly, I don't know if we will, okay, yeah, I think we do need to change the final metrics too, because now the model is going to be outputting two things, so obviously we can't have the same final metrics. So yeah, we'll just replace that with that. So that's going. We'll check back in with this, see if this is encountering an error. So it looks like that actually finished, so we can now go check here. I don't see any charts log yet. log the charts. Custom viz. What? Okay, there looks like there was an error there. So so it looks like I think it actually unfortunately hit a bug because related to using the GPU. That's actually one thing I can't test on Circle CI because because of the issue with I obviously can't simulate how it will work on the GPU on Circle CI, since that's essentially only the CPU. So this is an issue that's going to have to be addressed. Expected type. I'm guessing, and another issue not with my framework but with weights and biases is when you're running a sweep. I think I said this in other videos that it never prints the freaking full error message, so you never know exactly where the error is happening, and that's really something they need to get fixed with weights and biases because it's very annoying. And yeah, the log files the output also don't say anything. So any case, so basically somewhere probably related to the new SHAP code I changed, it basically got a device, it basically got a CPU tensor when it should have gotten a GPU tensor, which is an annoying pain in the ass because it basically means now I'm gonna have to commit to that. So I'm actually gonna comment this down. I'm not gonna currently wait, no, this is a different issue. I'm not gonna currently actually push any bug fixes to this because it's late on a Friday and I don't want to screw anything else up further. I'm just gonna note there's a GPU error related to the related to SHAP. I'm also not gonna really try to debug that thoroughly. That's something I'll have to start working on next week. What I will do now is okay. So I'm gonna see if I'm gonna just throw this onto CPU, even if though it's gonna take longer, just because I'm not gonna handle that GPU bug till probably early next week, and I just want to get a sense now if there are going to be any other bugs related to SHAP itself. That way then I'll handle them both in the same PR, to handle that issue with the GPU as well as the issue, any potential issue with the actual SHAP values. So I'm going to go ahead and rerun this whole thing, which is a pain in the ass, but I should reset. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, rerun this thing from scratch on the CPU. So likely it's gonna take even longer now. And it will work, and yeah, I'll get that GPU bug fixed a bit later in the week. I'm not fixing it. It's just I'm just taking note of it now, and then hopefully handling any issues with that in the same pull request. So that's essentially the plan there. So gonna run this code again, run through and get the secrets. Yeah, also I guess this is a good way to just benchmark how much longer this particular thing takes to run on the CPU versus the GPU, since we do have that prior run with the stats there. I think it's something towards the end because this thing printed a lot of debugging too. I'll turn my screen back on. Because yeah, this thing like before it failed, like printed a lot of debugging. So it, well, I mean not a lot of debugging, but it printed through. Basically, it printed. It looks like it, just based on my own knowledge of the framework, since I obviously built it. It looks like it ran through where it built the CI and stuff. So and where it prints out the historical data frame. So I'll also just make note of that. Since I don't have the full error trace. It would be good. I might have to do a full debug where I run it without a sweep, which I hate doing. I think I showed you how to do those in the solar forecasting demo. Those are a pain. So I really wish weights and biases would fix their error logging. So historical data frame. So I'll just add that here. Ran through the printing of historical data frame. So yeah, I think probably next week I'll just open a PR and it won't be too much of an issue to get GPU support. So with SHAP. Okay, so I have to gray out again so people don't see my weights and biases key. So I'll go for that there. So it just says it's appended now, so that's good. Okay, so back to running that. We'll see. It will now run. Actually, I don't think it will take ridiculously long on the CPU either. Or I'm hoping it won't. But in either case, we'll just head over to, close that tab. We'll just head over to where we're doing the Gaussian loss. I think that's all good with Gaussian loss, so we'll also try running this. Oh, this way I guess Google also won't get mad at us for using 2 GPUs at one time, which would be nice. So I think that's the right config. I'm just gonna go and run this. I might have just forgotten a comma or something. That's one of the most frequent things I do is just in my configuration files I forget a comma and I'm like, where did I forget it? No, it looks like I got it here. Okay, that all looks good. Yeah, let's get this started. So yeah, similar thing here, just gonna gray out like empty private keys and such. So I'll throw on display capture back on. So this is loading. Hopefully this is going to run nice and smooth too. But we'll wait and see. Yeah, those are the main things right now. The reason why I'm doing forecasting this river again for these experiments is I've already benchmarked a few models on them, so here I'm essentially just getting more benchmark data with different, slightly different models, slightly different loss functions. So anyways, okay, so I don't know if it's gotten to the weights and biases stuff yet. It hasn't. So, yeah, I pretty much always multitask on different stuff too. So one of the other things I'm working on is why these are running is beginning to add support for this series ID issue. Basically, actually, in the original convolutional transformer article, and actually a number of other models, this is useful. You might want to have train the model on, say, like multiple series at the same time, and each of those series might have a specific ID and stuff associated with them. And at the end, you might then want to, yeah, at the end, then you'd have a model that could forecast, multiple series at the same time. You just specify whatever ID is passed in. So this is a interesting thing, and it actually relates to some of the other problems with multitask forecasting, though it's slightly different, because you're not actually predicting both values at the same time. Rather, you're just alternating different IDs and stuff for different series. So, but anyways, to support this in flow forecast, like when I originally ported the model, I didn't initially support doing this because it was kind of a pain in the ass, in all honesty, because then you have to have the data loader return the series ID and then have another function to handle essentially, some models will take a series ID and some won't. And then you also need a way of like embedding the series ID. But now I'm starting to expand flow forecast to be like more expansive and to better handle these models. And like there are a lot of models where you might want to pass a unique embedding, potentially even with metadata for like for different series with different IDs. You might want to forecast multiple streams at the same time using this series ID method, or you might want to, and each might have, I guess, like, river metadata, which then gets embedded in that unique kind of ID thing. Or on like the product side, you might obviously have multiple products, each with specific, numbers, and you want to create kind of a product ID and then have a model that works for any different product ID. Plus, I think this will definitely improve performance in places where, say, data is limited, since essentially it's not exactly multitask forecasting, but it works somewhat similar to it. So, needless to say, it's kind of, we want to add support now, though it is kind of challenging to add support for it. Definitely complicates the code base a bit more, but I've opened essentially a PR to do just that, and I'm still architecting overall how it's going to look, but did I have inner weights and biases here? I just randomly thought of that. So okay, I'll enter weights and biases. But yeah, in general, this is how I often will do things. I'll have, like, particularly with deep machine learning, I'll have the models running in the background while at the same time making framework additions. Okay, I'll close that tab. Throw back the screen on. Okay, so we'll return to that thought in one sec. So this actually compiled. We'll now try running this as another sweep. This is running. Oh, I got error queue length. What the fuck? Queue length should be a fucking parameter in that. That's not related to the Gauss loss at all. Okay, I don't know why the fuck that is. No, I mean, queue length's a legit parameter in the decoder model. I'm 99% sure. I don't know why it's saying it doesn't like getting queue length. Maybe I slightly. Where was it? Queue length. No, I'm sure that it was this thing you could pass in. right? Yeah, Q1 you can pass in right there. That shouldn't be happening. Oh wait, maybe it's saying it's not in the weights and bias. Oh, it's saying it's not in the fucking weights and biases config. That's where it is. It's not in the weights and biases. Okay, so yeah, we need Q1. This, like, I think this is basically just hyperparameter you can tune. It's essentially the length of it's the query length of the attention mechanism, I think is what it is. I'm already fuzzy. It's in most cases 1, I think. But the idea here is to search different lengths to see which results in better performance. So I'm just gonna specify. Okay, yeah, and then this is just so for all these. If you want to ever add parameters to this, you just do it this way. So I'll just do 1, 2, 4. Those are nice numbers. I don't really care. I don't think it makes. Well, it might make some difference. I actually think 1's probably the better one. That's, I think, what they had in the original paper for that parameter. So we'll just search. We'll get this started. See what new error messages it throws up. Fuck. matdim1 must match matdim2. Fuck. Was this sweep ever actually run before? I'm beginning to wonder if this was a junk notebook I never actually ran before. Okay, number time series, 8 time series. So usually, for reference, if anyone ever comes across this error, something like this, it's probably related to the number of time series you're inputting and whether they're matching what's actually being returned. So here, I'm just checking stuff. 2, 4. So oh, I can see the problem already. So these are numerical features. I'm passing these as numerical features. So these are an additional 2. So altogether we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different time series passed in, and this is specified at 8. So that right there is the most likely cause of that problem. Because really that should be 6. So yeah, I think this thing was either never run maybe before, or it was run and then I changed stuff later but didn't update the config. I'm looking pretty awful. I've given talks on reproducibility before. I mean the experiments are reproducible. It's just this notebook is kind of shitty. What the fuck now? Too many indices for a tensor of dimension 1. I don't even know what this is from. Okay, I'm gonna check in on the other thing too. Oh, that's still really early. Oh, this thing might take forever to run now. Too many indices for tensor dimension 1. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if that's related to the Gaussian loss change or if it was another or earlier bug in the config file. I'm gonna go do what I did before, since weights and biases can't create a good error message. Hint, hint, please fix that problem. And then see what happens. So as I said before, when this happens, you're going to just copy the config file and what you're going to get the full error message, and then you're just going to sub in different well, ideally you'd sub in the specific sweep parameters that cause the error, and normally, oh, if I hadn't cleared this already, I would still see them. here I'm thinking it doesn't really matter what the things are, because I'm guessing that that it's something more substantial than just what the sweep parameters are. We'll say forecast history. What were the different things we were playing around with? We'll say 24. Forecast length. We'll just say like what, 2. Number layers. We'll say 2. We actually don't. This is actually no longer needed in dataset params. For a while, there was a need to enter batch size twice, once in dataset params, once in the training params, I think. Nowadays, only the training params batch size is actually needed. So, anyways, forecast history. What did we say up there? We said 24. We said forecast length would be 2. 24, 2. Yeah, 24, 2. So just updating these so that when we run it without weights and biases, stupid sweep, that it just runs. Just get rid of the residual config stuff here. We'll call this make config file too. And then basically all we do is train function, make config file, but without, you know, all this other junk. So, so we'll do that. This should run. I really wish, I cut off a T somewhere. I really wish weights and biases would fix their stuff so that we get the error messages there. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, so that is related to the Gaussian loss. 2-minute indices for tensor of dimension 1. Okay, why did this not come up in testing then, would be the question. Multi-targets equals number of targets. Oh, is there a thing with n targets? I forget, like, there might be a need when you're using Gaussian loss, even if you only have 1 target, to set it to multiple targets, because Gaussian loss always returns 2 parameters. So, oh yeah, there's definitely a thing. Actually, that's true even with the metadata now, which is kind of annoying. I might later have something that specifies that, but basically anything where you're now getting more than 1 target, you now need to specify a specific number of targets. So, let me go back to the fucking file. I'm going to try to find it. So test informer. Okay, so test Gaussian. So I think this would say, wait, I don't see targets here. What the fuck? Let me check something. So, I think n targets, you'd need n targets here. Okay, so why the heck is that passing then? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, I have no idea why this is passing then in the first place. Because that shouldn't be happening like this. This is still being run actually as a unit test, right? Yeah, that's still being run. That's really odd. Test Gaussian. N time series. Oh wait, we might need this. Maybe it's this parameter. It might be this. I bet that it's that. I don't think I have that here. Yeah, I think I need to specify. I think specifying mu to true essentially. Oh shit. Mu to true essentially is what enables that. So we'll try that again. Try that. What the fuck? Too many indices for tensor of dimension 1. Why the heck is that tensor dimension 1? Loss equals compute loss, multi-targets. It shouldn't be that dimension. It shouldn't have a dimension of 1. If we're forecasting 2 time steps at a time. Okay, I specified mu to true. Let me see this shit. N-head, forecast history, forecast length, additional params. Do I need additional params? I wouldn't think I would. Oh, that's there anyways. This thing is working, why is this failing? This is the question. Model name, blah 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 blah. Okay, so yeah, number of layers, dropout shouldn't matter. Wait, dropout? What the heck? Dropout should definitely not be 20 though. That would be ridiculous. I don't think that's the reason it failed though. Scale attention. What the hell's scale attention? I don't know what that is. I don't think that matters. Optimizer. Here I'm using atom. Criterion params. I have those. Mu and sigma. Optim params. Wait, why isn't that throwing an error then, actually? Oh, maybe because that was already defined. That shouldn't really matter though. Let's try this stuff. Let's see. 42. Too many indices. What the It's in compute loss criterion. That should not be happening. That's fucking weird. I think it's saying the error is saying because the tensor only has one fucking dimension, but the tensor definitely shouldn't have one fucking dimension. I mean, the tensor should. I mean, maybe is it here? Do I actually need this shit after all? I saw I fixed this so I didn't need batch size here, but maybe that's what's doing it. Or wait, no, that wouldn't cause it there though. I don't know. Let me see. Just try this. I don't think that will change anything. Too many indices. There should never be a one-dimensional tensor here, though. There just never should fucking be one. Wait, why are we using I'll put 0. Wait, why are we using that index though? I don't know why it's saying to essentially too many indices for tensor dimension 1. Okay, this is still passing though. Using that same code. No markers. Criterion for mu sigma. Okay, let me see. Forecast history. This is really confusing why this is happening. Yeah, I need that. I don't think I need any of that shit, actually. I need like some print statements to like see what's going wrong, I think, because this doesn't make any sense. Because yeah, I'd never think that this would be like one dimension. It just shouldn't happen. Wait, is it mu? Yeah, it's mu true. Is there anything else? Mu true. So, yeah, I'd never think that dimension would be 1, I don't think, for any reason. Yeah, I mean, that thing should return those 2 values, and then, decoder block. Transformer bottleneck. That should definitely, it should not be returning something that's 1. So if mu is true, I think I mean, it has to be something with the config file though, because I think like if tuple batch size forecast history 1. Yeah, it should be returning a tuple of batch size, forecast history, and 1. I don't know why that is, but so yeah, it should be that should actually be 3 dimensions. Okay, what? Maybe that's a misunderstanding that. I think it's. Move this back for. What? It's not being returned right. I mean, this should be returned as a tuple. And I mean the unit test is running, so, and it's not failing. So it has to be probably something to do with the configuration. Okay, I'm gonna go and try something. I'm gonna go, yeah, do something actually. Wait, no, this is my running one, which is now taking forever. It's only completed a single epoch back there. So what was this from? Time model. I'm gonna try to like time model import PyTorch forecast. I'm gonna try to instantiate this on my own. What? I know that's a module. Oh yeah, oops. Yeah, I just forgot the stupid flood forecast part. So I'm gonna just see what, I'm gonna instantiate the model essentially myself. Model base, it's PyTorch. Alexa, stop. Okay, so yeah, so I'll just, so yeah, it's so the model is a decoder transformer. So I'm actually gonna use this should be an interesting thing on, I guess, using the underlying Python API. So basically, yeah, in order to debug this, I'm just gonna quickly instantiate the model in the actual notebook and see what the fuck it's returning. So we'll see that quickly. Yeah, these are all the things. Oh wait, I think I just need to make the config. I'll just call config equals make config 2. Or wait, yeah. Fuck. Just do that. Wait. I thought we had make config 2. This is so fucking annoying. Because I have no idea why this thing, it should never be returning that. But it is. Okay. These things don't matter. Just do that. ABC. LR. Just sub out LR. I don't actually know why that ran the first time, because learning rate actually wasn't present there. But I think it was some residuals relating to Jupyter. But anyways. And then we just throw the config in here. And that should actually load the model. Then we should get the model. And then if we basically do model.model and then we do torch.rand, say a batch size, we'll just say the batch size is 20 now. I think forecast history we said was 5, and number of time series we said was 6. So we'll now just do that and get the output. What did I call that stupid thing? Oh, I just called it M. So in this case, it's just m.model. Torch isn't even imported. Oh, come on. I'm not gonna to CUDA, we'll just do it to CUDA 0. Come on, man. Okay, so 0, and then we'll see what shape that is. What's the shape of this? 25, 1. Yeah, that makes sense. And then if we do 1, what's the shape of that? Okay, so these are the right shapes, so there's no problem with what the model is returning. It's returning what it's supposed to. How else can I test this? So it's returning what it's supposed to. So what else was the problem there? Output 1. You have too many indices. Like, I don't see that, because, like, if that's the output, neither of these should actually throw errors, right? Yeah, I mean, neither of these should throw errors, because these are all well within the tensor ranges. That is really weird. Unless the things were modified beforehand. I'm gonna go for training and see if now, like, it's ever modified. So basically, this is output. If multi-targets. If multi-targets equals 1, then it's gonna do this. Well, see, that's the thing though. Like, multi-targets. Oh wait, no, that's modifying target though. That's not modifying output. Does output ever get fucking modified here? I don't think output actually gets modified. Output just gets outputted. And then the only question is, does it get modified in compute loss? So if is instance, so then we hit this block, and then we hit, then by the looks of it, we hit this. But wait, it was saying that it's not greater than 2 or something. So that shape should be greater than 2, I'd think. Wait, is that len? Yeah. So if len output 0 dot shape is greater than 2, which is essentially this. Yeah, so that shouldn't even be coming to that bottom portion. So it's only coming there. It shouldn't even be hitting this part of the else statement in normal training. Because yeah, I don't know why it would even be hitting that in normal training, because the shape shouldn't be the shape should be hitting this part, right? You know, because it's like this is the core. So the question is, why the fuck is it doing that? Only thing I can think is actually might be related to the data loader, which I don't know. It could be related to the data loader and just what data is coming out and getting passed to it. So let me think. So it might be related to the data loader, but I don't really think that makes sense. So if I go to, say, we have the model, and then we have training, and we have the loader. What's the shape of this? Oh wait, so this is a tuple. Oh yeah, of course it is, because it's the source and the target. And we have this shape. 24/6. That makes sense. Yeah, because that was 25, right? Yeah, I think so. So yeah, that's the forecast history. Yeah, it's 24/6. That's what the data loader should be putting out. And if we said, and if we told the data loader to like go and unsqueeze at position 0, then this shape should be, then this should actually be fine to run. Right, because, well, assuming we go to the 2 CUDA stuff. Okay, that tensor actually looks a lot different than what I saw before, though. Interesting. Let me check this thing. We'll just call this out again. I'll just do out 0, 0. Or actually, let's just look at out.shape. 24. Okay, that doesn't make, I have no idea why that thing's failing there, because you'd think that the item wouldn't fail there, because the model's returning all the proper things. And I don't see like any other place it's actually being modified. Where's compute loss? So compute loss, yeah, and the other, and as I said, the other weird thing is that it's not even going to the top part, which it should be, because that shape is like more than 3, I think. So, what was batch size? I'm gonna go back and try batch size. Did I put in the right batch size? I have batch size 100 there. Criterion params. Gaussian loss. Number of workers, I'll further that down to 2. Yeah, but that shouldn't really affect it. Yeah, it's just weird ass shit that there's no reason that should be happening. So if is instance, let me go back to where it's training. Yeah, so it would be in torch single train. So in all cases, it just takes the raw output. I don't think outputs, only place outputs modified is if probabilistic would be true. So I already tested that the model was returning the right stuff. The model seemed to be fine with those parameters. Number of layers. Yeah. Even the data loader seemed okay. Unless those are exactly the same, right? I'll try running the sweep again, see if that changes. It's just really weird that this would happen. Did I change this? Oh yeah, I forgot to put that there. View. mu should be true. Stop that now. I'm gonna reset mu to true. Oh wait. Okay. Yeah, actually that was my, well, no. It was the muted true thing was this thing, but yeah, here I made this stupid mistake of thinking that this was make config file instead of make config file 2, which is what fucked it up. Oh shit. I don't know how that even ran with the weights and biases stuff, except maybe for some weird residual thing in the notebook. But yeah, that was really stupid and just wasted like 40 minutes. But I guess that gives some insight into how like you can use the underlying Python code though, at least if you need to. I don't think it really does much else besides that. Okay, we'll check back here. I'm gonna end this soon. I have some things to do tonight, but yeah, this is taking forever. I think it's only ran a single epoch. So yeah, I guess the lesson of this is like for informer true, you do truly need the GPU support. So I'll have to get that working early next week, because that, yeah, it seems to be a major fucking issue. Because CPU isn't doing shit. It's like way too slow. So let's just see if we can see if this will complete. I want to get back to the original problem of seeing if the stupid plots were logging after this thing ran. So yeah, I guess, yeah, definitely you need that like muse thing. I'm thinking of like starting my almost maybe like internal Stack Overflow of some of these questions too, that people can search. So I'm guessing as hopefully more people use the framework, a lot of people will probably run into many of these same stupid kind of errors of not having the exact right config file and that happening. So yeah, it's important to know, I guess, if you ever get that too many indices error with Gaussian loss, then that's the reason. I'll just jot that down quickly. Just for that adds in. Okay, so that's good. And then I will go back to, oh wait, it hit another, wait, no, I'm getting confused now. Just saw that thing. So that's running, hopefully that part will be done in a second. Oh god. Oh, nice Friday though. Definitely looking forward to the weekend. Okay, so let's see. Now it's computing the validation loss, so no other shit goes wrong. Computing that. Oh wait, I already computed that. So it's on Epoch 9 here. This one's still on freaking Epoch. It's still on Epoch 1 without the GPU. I mean, they're two different models, but Yeah, I guess you definitely really do need the GPU for the informer, because without it, you're gonna have a bad time taking this long to run a single model. Um, oh, so many issues. Yeah, definitely if anyone watching this has time at some point, we can see we have a lot of issues and the backlog and stuff. And so if you want to take up one of these, even if it's a simple one, that would be really helpful to maintaining the repository. So. Gaussian loss. Okay, let me look. It's almost done. It's actually gone to epoch 11. Did I actually have early stopping? I do have early stopping here, so I assume that means everything's still improving. Unless there's a bug with my early stopping, which I've tested before, so I don't think there is. So yeah, we should see things actually improving. Well, actually, it looks like it was improving until that last part. Actually, I would think that early stopping should have kicked in right now. Because I think we had a patient set for free. Yeah, shouldn't have early stopping kicked in. What the fuck? Why isn't early stopping kicked in? Early stopping definitely should have kicked in. I'll have to that's another thing I'll have to investigate. Cause yeah, that shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't, if the early stopping patients is free, it should not have run all the way to 14 after that. Let me check something. Early stopping. Yes, early stopping. Okay, I have tests that check that. I don't know why that seemed to have failed. Unless it's just like this was actually nested somewhere in the config. No, that's outside of training frames. Oh my fucking gosh. Okay, I'll check early stopping at some point too. Because this should not be happening. That should not have happened. Like, it should have stopped. Well, no, it should have had a patience of free, so it should have gone 1, 2, free, no improvement, bam, and then reload this checkpoint. It shouldn't have done what it did. In any case, I'm gonna see if it's what it's doing now. This print debugging looks like it needs to be cleaned up too a bit. Fuck. Every day I just find more and more fucking bugs. Oh, where's that Gaussian loss one? Okay, I'm gonna file a new thing. Early stopping, double check. I'll include a link to this shit. Where's this? Just grab a shot of this. Fuck. Labels. Yeah, I'll fill it out later. I'll remember what it means. informer chat values. What's going on here? Yeah, it's printing way too much shit. So, I mean, this might actually be worthwhile. Can I see the bottom? I don't even know if I can get to the bottom of this shit. Okay. I mean, some of this might be useful for debugging, but this definitely needs to be cleaned up in the next release, because someone starts using this, they're going to be like, why the fuck is there all this shit on my screen? Okay. So yeah, I'll have to look into fixing up the print statements there too. I'll make note of that. Also, clean up print statements for Gaussian loss. I'll just put a comment there so I remember. I wonder if there are any of these I can close. Anyways, what's going on? Is this gonna finish fucking running? I don't even know what's going on. I think it's running through the test plots right now. I'm hoping that I'll see test plots. It would be nice if the actual issue isn't an issue, given that all these other things are an issue. While this is going, I'm gonna close. Actually, I think I fixed this. Right? Or did I? No, I might not. Anyway, installing unit tests. Oh, these were like, these can be like, I can be closed for real now. So yes, the unit tests seem to only stall on the weekends and shit. Anyways. Warning. Okay, I am going to I don't know if I should make this. Oh wait, yeah. Yeah, no, I'll keep that as one issue. Though I might rename it. Let's see. Yeah, the early stopping should definitely be looked at. I haven't seen that before in other models, so maybe it's a weird edge case related to this, though. I don't see why that would be, but that definitely should have stopped. Oh yeah, I remember. Is that fixed, though? I think I fixed that, right? Yeah, so while this is running, basically what I'm doing, I'm just going through and seeing, like, which issues can be closed now. Oh yeah, I did fix that. Oh wait. No, it would be an evaluator. It would be in the fucking evaluator thing. What the fuck? Just get me the evaluator. It's like that date, all these other date times. I thought I was fixed for a sec, because what is it? Daytime start, daytime. Oh shit, that's still that way. Okay. Is that other issue related to daytime still there? Anyways, this going on still. Okay, the print statement really needs to be cleaned up. Price speed also needs to be looked at, because this is taking forever. This end thing shouldn't take this long. Also look at forecast test length. Here. Nah. Yeah, I might open an issue there. Yeah, I don't know. That's annoying. Let me go back here. Gaussian loss computation very slow. Related to okay, this is annoying, so I'll check later. I'll probably do another Forecasting Friday video. Obviously, these two things, like, we encounter these issues. I'm hoping next week for next week's video where I might run back through some of these, and by then hopefully they'll all be fixed. So